And you've had some sadness that's happened. You've had some wildness that's happened. And I'm not saying, the thing is, they say the worst thing to happen to you is the worst thing to happen to you, but you have to look. You know, people say, oh, you know, we're really worried. Of course they are, because we've had it so great.
If you don't like your surroundings, change it.
Straight away, I'm just typing stuff for later on.
For later on?
Yeah, I've just got some stuff I just wanted to say, so I was just typing just to get stuff
What,
off.
for this?
Yeah, no, I'm doing other work while I'm doing this. Yeah, of course for this. What?
Mate, if men can multitask.
No, we can't.
If we found one, then you'd be the first one in history.
Yeah. There was a lot of discussion. We're probably 27 minutes into this already. Just talking before. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. And obviously, just life's getting a bit hard, and I think life's getting harder for everybody, and I think everyone's mental health is gonna suffer a little bit more if I don't even know how to politically put this correct.
You don't have to.
Well, it's
just say it. Well, what's the point of being here?
It's bollocks, isn't it? Let's be fair. It's my mental health's different to your mental health. Your mental health's different to somebody else. Do you understand what I mean? And the only one truly can get yourself out of that dark place is yourself.
You have no other choice. No one cares more than you. You set up a business. No one cares more than you. It's down to you. You can also help.
Like, even when we were just discussing, it's only when you say things, it's kind of like, well, everybody just wants everybody. Like, I would love somebody just to wave a magic wand and sort all my problems out for me.
But I don't think you say this, right? But I also call that bollocks, because I feel like you also need some struggle. You can't have it too easy.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. It was only when what you said before obviously went on air, it kind of like, how much more achievement would it be, say, in a year's time?
Maybe just we whinging about something else.
Yeah, I think as a species, we got to whinge about something, because like what you said about the distribution people and the 90%, I get it. When you put it in that concept, yeah, it is probably because I'm not getting, the world's not giving me what I want when I want it and how I want it.
Because you don't deserve it. And I don't just mean you, no one does. Like, no one is going to get their way all the time. And even if they did, do you know how hard it will be when you don't?
And that's what I think certain things like with my mental health and bits and pieces, I chose to go and do them jobs. I chose to put myself in them situations. I could have went down a whole different career path, right?
Yeah, you could have.
But it's only when you said, well, your life, you know, you choose to do certain things. Obviously, don't think of them when you're younger, when you're older.
No, of course not. Which is weird, because that is my whole thing that I'm going to be doing for the next 25 years, and talking to people and be like, you got to think about it.
You think it's consequences, isn't it?
You got to think about those steps. Every single step you do and you take, you have to be like, if I do this, what will happen? Good, bad, indifferent. And then do it, or then don't do it. Don't just do it. Everyone's like, I'm so spontaneous. Great, awesome. Let's see how that gets you after doing that for the next 5 years. Because I'll tell you what, one of the things when you do stuff, you will lead to regret stuff. And I actually like regretting stuff.
Yeah, but right, so you regret, yeah. So if you could go back in time right now, and have a word with, say, 16-year-old self, what the hell would you say to yourself? The world ain't exactly what you fucking think it is?
I'd say get your head down, work hard, and someone will notice. You know, this whole thing of anything being given to you, this whole thing of anything being easy, this whole thing, like, you live in the Western fucking world. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, when you put it in that principle, we shouldn't even be having mental health problems, right?
You're not, how many times have you been raped?
Never.
Do you know how many people can say that? Especially women. What about children that have been raped? You know what I mean? Like, and that's the start of their life. Mm-hmm. And you've had some sadness that's happened. You've had some wildness that's happened. And I'm not saying, the thing is, they say the worst thing to happen to you is the worst thing to happen to you, but you have to look at other people. You can go, you were talking about, like, going to the shop. There's places in this world, there is no shop.
Yeah. What we see is, you're neglecting someone, you're doing this, you're doing that.
You wash your clothes in a washing machine. I'm not saying life isn't hard, right? You can go down to the pub and you can get a pint without there being a fight every single day. And if we take that back 500 years, just being killed by a sword or just a scratch because like there was no penicillin, you know what I mean? Like there's an element of right now we are so looked after. So when these little tiny things happen in our life that don't go perfect,
when we were talking, that's what I mean. Some of the, not saying all the things need to go back, but the attitude towards life back then.
No, it's nostalgia. It's rose-tinted spectacles. You went back then, people were like, "Fuck," you know.
No, do you not think back in the day they were a little bit more tougher?
No,
do you not think?
No, I think that those people.
Well, even like the kids that grew up in the Second World War and the people. Mate, most people they'd run down the bomb shelter, then go to school. You couldn't do that with kids nowadays. It'd be an uproar. Parents would kick off.
You're also guessing. Also, there was more discipline back then. I guarantee there's no way that I reckon you're 100% softer than your granddad was on your dad, or his granddad was on his dad.
100%.
Right. So it's down to you. Like, these are reasons why these kids are like this right now, because the discipline is gone. You allow...
So if I smack my child, right, what would happen?
Well, you're in trouble because the laws have changed, right? But there's ways of not getting around of not smacking kids, but there's definitely ways of doing discipline. And parents are not doing it. Parents are like, I want to be my kid's best friend. Okay, see how
I wonder why their mental health just drops through the floor when they get older and life really kicks them in the ass.
Because what you want from your parent, honestly, what you want is them to be a stone rock. Mm-hmm. You don't want to see anything is ever wrong. Mm-hmm. You want to make it, the older you get, the more you notice that your parents are just humans. But when you were younger, you were like, they're like superhumans. You don't think that anymore. And your kids don't think that anymore. Because they've seen too much chinks in your armor. They know how to get to you. Like there is no freaking way that granddad or great-granddad or great-grandma were tolerating any of that shit. And now because we don't have bombs dropping out of the ceiling, the sky, sorry, and we don't have to think about rationing food. People say, oh, we're really worried. Of course they are, because we've had it so great. Beforehand, they never had it great. So they were only getting better. But we already have it great. And it's slightly getting changed a little bit to be like, it's too great, though. It's too great. Kai, what are you thinking about this? Like, just from your side, because obviously there's generational jumps and stuff like that. Where do you sit with this?
I mean, I feel like every sort of like generation has had their own sort of struggles, their own sort of strifes. Obviously, I can't say that my life I can't compare my life to someone who lived through a war, for example, because that was a major thing that happened. It affected tons of people. But that's not to say that just because I didn't live through that doesn't mean that anything in my life is any easier. I could be going through my own personal battles that could have been, personally for me, could be worse.
Because it's happening to you.
Yeah, exactly, because it's happening to me. I feel like each person individually, you can't compare one person to another, because if I say, I'm having a bad day because, I don't know, I broke my camera, but Scott's having a bad day because of something that's happened to him, and his thing sounds a lot worse. That's not to say I'm sure his thing is really bad and I want to be there for him, but that's not to say that my thing's not as important as his thing
to you, and then his to his. Yeah. From
like an outside perspective.
And this is the problem. This is the problem that we have right now. That people are getting upset because of the smallest things. And not brushing that off, and then they're comparing. There's not a compromise, but there's a comparable thing that they're trying to do is just be like, well, me dropping, and I'm just saying this is what you're just saying, but like, well, me dropping something and it breaking is the same as you and your family problems. You're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because to me it's like, what?
You're like, well, no, I don't care. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's so funny. I told a story about something that happened to me last week, and I told it to my friend. And he was like, oh my God, that sounds like a similar situation that I'm going through. And they told me their story, and I was like, oh, your story sounds shit. I'm glad I've got my version. You know what I mean? I realized that my version, that I was so in, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And he told me his, I was like, oh, what?
Did that make you feel a little bit better that yours wasn't as bad as his?
Yeah, I'm definitely choosing my cards. It was like poker, and I'd be like, oh my God, my hand's rubbing, and I saw theirs, I was like, I'll keep mine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what it was. I was like, okay, so I do understand when you blow up the version of stuff that happens and someone dinks your car or someone, you know, you put the wrong petrol in your car, or something stupid like that. And then someone comes to you and they're just like literally in pieces because their best friends just died. You're like, yeah, but I put the wrong petrol in my car. Like, shut up. You know?
That's not it. Yeah. But because
But
we're
it
not
still
going
affects
through
you.
it at
Yeah.
that time,
Yeah.
we look on it and go,
Mate, you can't care about everyone else. You have to just
do
care
you know
about
how
you
many
first.
people have actually said that, right? Your own destiny. If you don't like your surroundings, change it.
And mate, it's my number one thing. I have to change it all the time. I'm in a situation right now, and what I'm doing in the end is I'm just going to step away. I'm going to give them their space, but I'm not going to stand there and wait. I'm just going to be like, mate, you make your own decisions. I'm not going to wait for you, but I'm not going to give you the pressure of me going, but I'm always going to be here. No. You carry on doing what you need to do, and if you need me, just give me a call. But I'm not waiting. That's it. You know. So anyway, let's get on with stuff. What's going on, Kai?
Right. So
Do you got to press a button? Is everything up? Can you?
Yeah,
press it?
I'm ready to go, my friend.
Come on. Oh, I've got some new ones as well, so they're going to be coming next week.
Oh, did you do the ones that was said?
Some. I can't remember what we said.
Scott's Hot Topics.
No. Are you pressing it?
Hot Topics.
Oh, God, my
Right.
voice annoys me.
So our first hot topic. Last week we spoke about Reading Festival,
Yes.
and obviously it went off. Lots of things happened at Reading Festival. My friend let my tent get stolen and burnt in a bonfire, so that was fun. But this
It wasn't even cold. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know why it happened, but yeah.
Oh, because
This, what I'm about to show you,
Let's go.
is
Oh.
what was left over
Let's have a
after Reading Festival.
Here we go. Oh, do you know
Yeah.
what? I'd have that as a piece of art in my house.
Shut up.
I would have that as a piece of art.
My God.
Yeah, it's really bad. So this is literally everything that was left over at after Reading Festival. These are drone shots that were taken, I think, maybe the Monday or maybe yesterday. I'm not entirely sure, but it's horrendous.
But by the way, you know it's always like this.
Yeah, but you'd think that, you know, they'd ask people to at least pack up their tent.
I went to Festival and
What the hell?
you got paid. They gave you 2 bin bags. You got paid a £5 back for filling up a bin bag.
If that was the case, I'd go down there today and do it.
You got a £5 back. So we literally went and just collected trash for like most of the Monday.
God, look at that.
Yeah. And then I believe at the very bottom it's hard to see from back here.
And they kind of cleared it up though.
But yeah, they cleared it up, but that took days to clear up.
Yeah,
that
but
did.
I've seen them I've seen the pickers before. It is intense, but there's so many of them. Hey man, it's jobs, isn't it?
Do you not think that's mad?
Yeah, of course. But it's
I
like,
can't
I'm
believe how
also
many
showing
tents
my
were
age.
left.
I can imagine that Notting Hill Carnival was exactly the same.
I'd imagine. Right, Kai, let's be honest, yeah? Me and you're right, same age, roughly, right? Obviously, I could hear it over the weekend.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was loud. We're in
Yeah.
Thiel, and I could hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, the closer you got about that, and I could hear the words in Thiel.
Yeah.
I'm ready. To me, obviously, I could tell I'm getting a little bit older. I'm like,
Can you
I
turn
just-
it down, please?
I just want to go sleep. But I see that as disrespectful.
Alexa, turn down the festival. Boo, 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 boo.
But do you not see that as disrespectful?
No, because
I see tents there that could be going to someone that needs it. But like Kai said, he lost his tent that he lent his friend because they set it on fire.
Yeah, well, that's silly. But I feel like the whole situation about the tents and I think everyone should just bring, when you go somewhere, you should bring everything back. So if I go to the beach, I was in Bournemouth at the weekend,
Right.
like, you got to take everything with you. Everything you bring there, you got to take back, okay?
Mhm.
And any trash, you got to put in a bin, or you put in the bin bags, and you get some money back on incentive, or like money off your next year's ticket and stuff like that. So you give people incentives. I'm not just going to say that it's unfair, right? But the problem is,
You got a lovely river, all
Why?
them posh houses,
I know,
right?
no.
And then you've got all the trash.
but why? But they can't see it there. There's boards. But like, why would they pick up their rubbish?
Because you put it there. Why should somebody else clear up your shit?
Are you saying you've never littered?
Oh, cool. Everybody has over the years.
Exactly.
But
I'm just
it's
saying.
only as you get older and maturer.
Yeah, but they're
like
not,
I
they're
wouldn't let my
17.
kids chuck shit out the window.
No, but they're 17. They're just putting it on the floor. You know, we have a problem. Have you gone over
But what are we saying to a generation then?
we said nothing to them because we've taken away everything from all the kids. There's no youth clubs. There's nothing for them to do. So, you know, we can give them about 1 million bins and I'll just set them on fire because they're bored. You know, you go to the park on a Friday, Saturday evening, bloody Gary on Monday is picking up all the trash that the kids have just left. They could easily just put it in the bin.
That love field pack. I can see
they could
that
easily
constantly.
just put it in the bin. But what incentive do they have to do that?
But why should you have an incentive? It's the environment you live in.
Why do they care? What is the consequences of them not doing it?
Imagine the whole world did that.
But what is the consequences of them not
The
doing it?
world would disease,
Mate,
destroyed.
the world does it like that. I don't know what to talk about.
All right, but yeah, okay. We like you said, we're walking around with blinkers on. But my God,
It's difficult. It's
if you
difficult.
was the parent and you know, right, hang on, that's my child's tent there.
Yeah.
Would you say something to him?
Maybe not about a tent. I'd more likely saying, were you around when they were setting things on fire? Was you anything to do with that? And if you
We
were,
could have given
then-
them the charities, all sorts that people
Yeah,
that
and
need.
do you know? Do you know? A lot of the tents still do. I would just have an incentive that you pack down afterwards, and if you wanted to donate your tent, you can just throw it into a tent thing, but you have to pack it down.
Do you think, obviously, when Reading Rock Festival, when it was Reading Rock Festival, if you understand, do you reckon because obviously when they started camp, do you reckon they walked away and left it like that?
Yeah,
Generally.
yeah. I think there probably would have been less.
Or is that just an older generation picking on the kids, the next generation
100%.
younger?
Yeah, yeah. I think the only difference is I probably think there's more products there now than there was before. I think people would just there was less plastic and less sort of things like that. So and more.
Would
people
you
sharing.
genuinely, if you were there camping, would you have actually like picked up any of that?
I'd have picked up all my stuff. I wouldn't have picked up anyone else's stuff.
Why?
Because it's not mine. It's not for me to do. Like I'm saying, the incentive should be, when I've been at festivals, the incentive should be, here's 2 bags. One's recycling, one's just waste. You give back those, that's £10 you're getting back. And if you want to go and get other bags, people were stealing bags to do other people's collection, right? That's how much people were clearing up after the festival, that people were like literally stealing other people's rubbish to then say, oh, I've got these, you know.
Just to make some money.
Yeah,
I
but then the
suppose
bags
that
are
would
getting
work.
put away. I don't care who goes. I don't care who gets the money. I don't care. It's fine. In Germany, they have this thing that every can and every bottle is £1 or €1 more, right? So you go to shops and instead of it being £2, it's £3, right? So it's a lot. But when you put it in this bin, you get your £1 back.
Ah, clever.
So
So it's an incentive for you.
and
to
even if you
keep-
don't, because you don't need that £1, the homeless people do it.
Yes, they make money. Do you know what? That's quite a clever idea.
It's
actually.
just incentivizing. That's all it is. That's all it is. But yeah, it's not great.
How much crime do you reckon happened?
Comparable to Notting Hill, probably the same.
Yeah. I was having
Probably
this
the same.
discussion.
I saw Notting Hill stuff going on, and I just like, there's no way that I'd go to either of those things. Ugh.
No.
No, thank you.
But I think
But if
that's
you
our
do enjoy
generation,
it,
right?
amazing. If you enjoy it, then cool. I was at a festival not long ago. It was great. But I was at Adele. There was 75,000 people there. It was great. But still, people were disrespectful and just throwing stuff on the floor and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, something easy for out of pocket, that's fine. But when there's 75,000 people, you gotta put your stuff in the bin. And those bins need to be changed. And that's another thing. There's overflowing bins. Toilets
I
get
reckon
disgusting.
that's just organised chaos, isn't it, really?
There's not even a nice place to stay when you're at Reading. That's it. That's all you got. Anyway, let's move on for that. A little bit of hot topics, local. So
That's what we need.
What I know, we're gonna have one. Stop it.
local
Fine,
one.
We'll do it soon.
Why didn't you do it last week? Well, what was more important than the button?
Nothing was more important. I just didn't set up a mic, and so I didn't. I could have just come here and just done it. I could. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing it at home? I can just come to the place that I actually blooming work and just do it here, isn't it?
Well done, mate.
Thanks. Okay, I'll come and do it next week. Kai, what's on Hot Topics 2?
So the next hot topics is the weekend just gone. There was the KSI fight, and after the fight, after the fight, a certain politician was interviewed and called out another
gotta show me
politician.
You've got to show me this.
I'm going to show you.
Oh.
As soon as I can find the corner.
He wasn't looking, was he? Let's go.
Here we have Nigel Farage calling out Boris Johnson. I do not know how loud this is going to be, though.
This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store, and joined today by Nigel Farage. Nigel, it's good to see you. How are you?
Good to be. What an exciting evening. The O2's full. It couldn't be better.
I have to say, I'm very surprised to see you here, though. Are you a boxing fan?
Big boxing fan. Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been all my life. Love attending boxing matches. But this whole phenomenon that's going on here tonight, I'd read about it. I'd watched clips of it. I'd never been to one of these before. And wow.
It's good, huh?
This is grassroots boxing. This is anti-establishment boxing. I'm loving it.
Are you a big KSI fan here tonight?
Oh, look, I admire the guy. Absolutely. What he's done, the brand he's built, incredible. And hey, I mean, the way he boxed there, I mean, I have to say, Swarms took the stick pretty well. If I'd been Swarms, I would not have come out for round 2.
Yeah, great that Swarm was coming out for round 2. I haven't actually seen the fight because I was busy uploading an interview before this, but what impressed you most about KSI tonight in the ring?
He's fit. I mean, wow.
He was doing press-ups, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's unbelievably fit. He boxed hard, he boxed well, but he boxed clean. And that is quite important.
He was even doing press-ups between the rounds, wasn't he?
I mean, there's an element of showing off about all of that. He's got another fight to come this evening, so I hope he's not over-egged it. Look, impressive, a form of entertainment. We've not seen the likes of this ever before. Well, not actually, for about 200 years, when bare-knuckle boxers used to, for big money, fight each other. And the crowd, I've got to tell you, it's very different to a normal boxing crowd. It's much younger. A lot more of your age group are here. People are respectable. They're behaving well. It's terrific.
Certainly, it's been a very good crowd. I mean, the atmosphere when KSI won and Swarms got stopped was crazy in the arena. But do you ever see yourself stepping in the ring at any time soon?
Look, KSI is
28.
29 or 28, whatever he is.
29, you're right.
Yeah, I'm 58. I think, Fred, you might have me over in the ring.
You and Boris Johnson?
Oh, I do. I could deal with him. Boris, if you're listening now, let's do it.
That's awesome. Nigel, thanks for your time.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome.
He was talking in a way, it was a little bit deranged, but it was very loud and stuff like that. But he knew, he even knew KSI's age. Like,
yeah, where the actual reporter
I was
didn't.
like, yeah, the reporter didn't.
That surprised me as well. When
I was like,
when
what?
you
Because
said
I was like,
that.
you're just pretending. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, but Swarms. I was like, oh, it sounds weird you saying his name, but that's fine. But, I mean, if he goes up against Boris, I mean, can you imagine anyone's not going to watch that?
I reckon that would be the best selling.
How much
fight
money each
ever.
do you reckon they would want for it? 10?
I'm telling you now, they would easy walk away with 100 mil each.
Wow.
Easy.
Yeah.
But the whole world, even the Americans would be, everyone would be, even the Russians would be watching.
Who's going to win?
I'd have to say Farage, I reckon.
Oh, no, I'm going to say Boris is a bit younger.
I've seen Boris play sports, and didn't he run over a kid once? in a
He's quite physically not fit, like in the sense of that. Like, and not as. I mean, it's so funny when hearing Nigel Farage talk about KSI. Right, he is fit. I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird. You mean physically fit is what you're trying to say? Because in my mind, it means he's really handsome. Oh yeah, he's well fit. You know. But yeah, I'd definitely watch that. I think that'd be a good. I already said.
But do you think your mum would watch it? We'd watch it. Generations.
Everyone
I don't think there's a generation out there that wouldn't watch.
You
that.
whack that on pay per view, or you put a massive contract on ITV. That's going to get 30 million.
Yeah, I reckon you're talking
Like, just in the
billions.
UK?
I reckon it would be as big as the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Easy.
We'll fly.
Because they're worldwide.
We'll fly Ollie Mercer to the mid-show.
I'm telling you now, that would be massive. I reckon even the Queen would have it. I'll get her old little box out, sitting there.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be hilarious.
Well, I think Elise William would be there. Oh no,
Do you
it's
reckon
just
that?
Harry?
I reckon they should change the way the future politics works in order to become prime minister.
Yeah, like a knight.
Yeah, well, you'd know his hard nails, right?
Yeah.
Or she, because
Yeah,
she could
mate,
actually
you-
come and kick your ass. That would be hilarious.
Not messing with Maggie Thatcher.
Right, yeah, we're putting our candidate in there. And here you go, boy. Oh, look, nice sweet headbutt.
I think
Keys
he's
in hand.
super respectful. I just like
Doing the windmill. There we go. Lovely. Job
The
done.
windmill. Oh wait, that was cool. So who are you going to go for? Are you going for Boris or are you going for Farage?
Farage.
Boris, you're saying for us as well. Right, they get watch his space. That'd be pretty cool. So we got we got another third one as well.
Yes, we have got our third one.
Third topic.
Dum, dum, dum.
Now, unfortunately, this news article came out this morning. Bill Turnbull passed away at age 66. I can't read the headline.
Yeah.
At age 66, I believe it was from prostate cancer.
Yeah, it was. He was a BBC breakfast for 15 years. And then he was on Strictly as well. He was a very likeable guy. He was on the radio in Classic FM. And I never got interviewed by him. What I know of, maybe I did. I'm not entirely sure. It might have been Charlie. But it's pretty sad. 66 is not very old.
I can't imagine that was a pleasant way to go.
No. I think he had a massive struggle, and I think a lot of people are going to be affected by that. And it's not great. It's not great.
It's the damage it leaves behind after, isn't it?
Especially when people are just so nice, and then you've got your family and stuff there, and I can imagine all the people that worked for him are just going to be super, super upset. So. Yes. Apparently, he just he presented for the radio on the Classic FM show just 12 days ago, and was hoping to come back and stuff like that after his prostate cancer battle. But yeah, really, really sad, and he will be very, very missed. So, love to his family, I would say.
That was a sad one to finish with.
That was a sad one, but we're going to pick it up a little bit as well, because Kai has been doing some work for us. I'm just noticing how disgustingly dirty my keyboard is. Some lovely things where you're going to try to sort of cheer us up. And we've been talking about rubbish, we've been talking about fighting, and we're talking about losing someone who has been the fabric of most people's mornings. What are we going to be doing now, Kai?
So, last week we did a game.
We did.
I was going to make you guys another game, but I thought we'd switch it up a bit.
Okay.
So I would like to hear. I'm going to give you a scenario, and I would like you to answer what you would do in this scenario. So imagine that all of civilization has restart. We still have the technology we have, but everything that we know has restart. There's no religion. Science is still there, but it's still the early days of everyone discovering stuff. You have to pick. You're the only person that remembers anything from the old civilization. And you get to pick one movie franchise to show people as their first ever movie. And you have to bear in mind that if you wanted to, you could turn around and say, this is what the old civilization was like. So, for example, if you show them the Fast and Furious films,
Yes.
Everyone that watches it will think, oh my God, our ancestors used to be drag racers or racers constantly. If you pick Star Wars films, then Interstellar Travel and all that. But yeah, what movie franchise would you choose to show all of civilization for the first time?
Shall I go first, or you okay? I'm gonna not just a genre. I'm just gonna go with a director and his band of films.
Okay.
And I would go for Christopher Nolan. Because if I'm choosing Christopher Nolan, I'm choosing so many different versions of stuff. From going back from being on a Memento, which is an incredible Guy Pearce film that he's a lead actor in, and it's all about him losing his memory and stuff like that, and what he needs to do, and how people are kind of helping him, not helping him as well. Then you've got Interstellar, which I just watched the other day, which is incredible film about hope and time and future and stuff like that. You've got Inception, which is very thought-provoking and no one understands what's going on. You also have the Batman franchises in there. You've also got Dunkirk talking about the war and all the stuff that happened in that situation. It just goes on and on. I think it is a nice, if you just gave him, you could probably do it with Steven Spielberg. Maybe it's a little bit too sci-fi for that reason, but I would go for sort of Tenet. I really struggled with, but it's a clever film, so probably need to watch it again. But I would say Christopher Nolan films, and probably showing them first. Probably Interstellar. I thought it was just, if you watch that film again, it's just incredible. And yeah, I'm such a huge film fan anyway, and just or fuck it, just do all the Marvels.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's the green guy?
But then send them, give him Endgame first, so they're like, I have no idea what's going on. Don't even give him Infinity War. They have no idea.
So then my question for you is, obviously you've picked your film.
Yeah.
so you get a choice now.
Mm-hmm.
You can turn around and everyone will like instantly like believe you.
Yeah.
You can turn around and say, right, these are just movies. None of this actually ever happened.
Okay.
Or you can tell them these aren't movies. These are documentaries on how life used to be.
Power corrupts, so I'll just tell him they're just movies. But I would say there are movies from people who were
Would
real.
you?
Yeah, I'm not about.
Would you pick and choose your movies? So like, you wouldn't say Batman was real, but you'd say Inception was real to mess with everyone.
No, I wouldn't mess with it because it's always going to come back on you. I think it's quite fun to have a little bit of fun with that, but I'd just be like, but human beings made these. Someone came up with these ideas and they created this, and if you, I'll be like, at the end of these films, I want you to watch every single name, and that's how many people it took to bloody do this 2-hour film. Like, loads of things are done by loads of people, and we're trying so hard in ourselves to do stuff by ourselves, and nothing is done well by ourselves.
Okay.
Fair.
Where are you going?
Well, I've got 2.
Oh. Cheating.
Yeah, see...
He's just taking yours, Kai, because we're going to run out of time.
No. So basically, I want to... if you want to fuck around with him, right?
Oh, right, here we
Stephen King.
go. Wow.
Right.
Oh,
And then obviously, like with what he's just said.
that's good.
Yeah, it's real. You'd be hilarious.
There's some stuff going. No one's going to
There's
go outside
some
with dogs ever.
freaky
Yeah.
stuff, right? But
Yeah.
truly, obviously, if you had a chance to really, really start again, if you didn't want to use it as a joke, I would say Blue Planet.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you're
Because
going
in theory,
for...
if you watch Blue Planet, David Attenborough, the way he puts everything across, how life is, I think you could learn a lot, especially if you're restarting and didn't have to do all the, you got to change this, you got to change, because you've restarted, so you would already have
I
the
like that
knowledge
answer.
of.
I think it's a great answer. answer.
So did
Big
I win
time.
that one?
Yeah, I think so. Kai, are you going to beating that? Are you beating Blue Planet? Are we allowing that to be an answer as well?
I mean, I did ask for a movie franchise.
And it is a movie franchise.
I don't-
Blue
when
Planet,
was the last
David
time-
Attenborough, Geographical Channel.
When was the channel being the key word there? When was the last time we went to the cinema to watch Blue Planet?
Actually, it's actually was on
You
there.
can actually get to cinema
Yeah,
and watch Blue
yes.
Planet as well. So there you go. He's throwing at you. Kai. It's fine.
Well,
we'll allow it to be. Let's go.
my one's a bit more of a cheesy answer, but also I'd kind
do
of
it.
want to screw with everyone like Scott. I would pick the all of the MCU films, all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films.
Okay.
But I'd stop it right after Infinity War. After he snaps and after everyone's gone.
Yeah, I love that
And I would
moment
convince
so much.
everyone that right,
That's
we
That's the reason.
That's
That's the reason we had to
serious
start
fun,
again. So that's
No,
the
I'll
reason
just
why.
say to her, we're all that's left.
That's it.
Yeah.
You could have some serious fun with that.
That's genuinely it. So everything after Infinity War, no one comes back, there's no Tony dying. That's just it. That's just genuinely it.
What happens if you do come back, and this is such a fictitious question, but you do come back and you are the only male?
Come on.
If I'm the only guy on the entire planet.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are all female?
Yeah.
You fucked.
Or say they're female.
You fucked.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to be...
No, there'll be some mannish girls out there. I'll be fine. That'll be fine.
Come on, let's be honest.
I actually did fall in love with a girl. Yeah, I actually saw her the other day. She's married now. But I remember when I first met her, and I felt really, really confused. I was like...
So do you reckon you'd be confused if you went then? So we obviously take her back to what the scenario you just said.
It wasn't long enough from the go that I was young, but I was probably still 29. But I was just like, do I fancy you? Wait a minute. Do I? And it's so funny because she's so lovely, this girl. I can say her name. Her name's Samantha Box, if you're watching Samantha Box. And she's incredibly talented lady. And she's now in the West End. She plays Elsa. So she's incredible. And her husband's a lovely guy, and they met doing Pretty Woman. But she did make me go, what? So, if I got to repopulate the planet, hello.
Samantha, you know what's happening.
The thing is that I might be gay, but I'm not blind. So we'll just say that.
So,
Yeah,
right,
I can
Kai,
tell people are
from
hot.
a younger...
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, I've
Are you repopulating the planet?
Well,
there's
that's the
got to be
thing.
some rules here because it's quite difficult.
I've sort of found a loophole. So
Oh.
I'm the only guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Is everything else the same, just with just women?
Yeah.
So I don't need to repopulate the entire planet because sperm banks still exist.
No, they've all gone.
I hate you. That was my one loop.
That was clever. I like that. That's clever.
But do you
no,
think
they've all
you're
gone.
going to actually get as much as what every guy imagines in his head?
No, but I'd have to, you'd have to step up and go above and beyond the Call of Duty. You'd have to repopulate.
Do you reckon you get bored of it after a while?
Well, it becomes work.
Yeah, it don't
Yeah.
come a pleasure, does
But
it?
then,
So, oh,
in
for
that sense,
fuck's
can I
sake.
not just become my own sperm donor? So I don't have to do any of the work. Just donate.
Yeah,
hand
you
it
can
out.
do. Yeah.
Obviously, if I find someone that I like, I actually want to start a life with, I'm not just going to do it in a cup and be like, here you go. Can't be.
But you
bothered.
still have to populate the planet. You can't stop. You can't actually have a relationship.
So
No, but
every
you
kid
can have
in the
a
world.
relationship, but just every few days, you just need to fill up a certain amount of cups.
Yeah, as long as
And
your
ship
as
it
long as
out.
your girlfriend's
'Cause, I mean,
wife is so happy
you
with
know,
that.
Like women and that, they can still like,
Because there will be boys that will take your place.
yeah.
We've lost a
but,
bit.
Yeah,
like,
with their mums. Is that all you're saying?
No. There's women. There's women all in the world. Not going to be.
but
It's not Oedipus. They don't have to be with their
yeah, but
mum.
there'll be someone to deliver those cups.
None
to
of the
those
women
people.
are related to him until he makes them.
Yeah, that just sounds very weird.
Yeah, but then every child on the planet's going to be related to me, so it's just going to be a very weird.
Yes. Well, in some sort of format. At
You
the
become a
beginning,
god then, don't
in
you?
the beginning, yes. Later on, no.
You would become a god.
No, you.
Well,
won't.
aren't we supposed to be children of God?
All I know is I would live. I
It
would
depends
live
what
my-
you
I
think
live
of.
my
I
happy
think.
life.
I think this depiction of the god that we think about is not as old as how old the bloody planet is and how old
Yeah.
humanity is. So, yeah, different. We just believe in people believe in the god from wherever they live and not actually the god that actually.
God,
is
could you imagine
real.
the pocket money you'd have to pay out?
But actually,
All
you don't
them
have to pay
crazy
them all.
baby mums.
You don't have to pay it all. There's other women around.
Yeah, CSA's nailing your ass to the floor on it. Let's be fair.
It's all good. It's all good.
You have got how many kids? Number 51, number 52. Just as we're saying, there's
You gotta
another
populate the
1,000.
planet. But then at the same time, do you want more boys? Because I guess you're going to have to make boys. You can't still be the only boy.
Isn't it just like a 50-50 chance though?
Of course.
You can't
it's
just
not.
like.
Well, to be honest, all people start off with girls anyway, so it's just like in the womb you change
I
to
mean,
a boy.
that's not. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say everyone has a girl to start off with.
No.
I was going to say because like I was the first child.
Yeah, me too. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, in the sense when you're being created that we're all pretty much sexless. So
This is proper took a weird turn considering how depressed I
Yeah,
was
it's
before
taking
we
a
hit
we're getting
record.
towards the end. Have we got round up, or was there anything else you're giving us?
I do believe there's one thing that we always do at the end of every podcast.
Of course there is. Do you have a good one that you've licked from somewhere else and you haven't written yourself? Yeah. What is it, Kai? Let's go. There's just a silence.
This
Did you feel
this
that?
one's a bit simpler
Oh,
to
okay.
the ones I usually do.
This can't be more simple than Scott's ones. It is what it
True.
is, isn't it?
He's what he's doing
I
today.
said that one about 4 times in the last month as well.
Whatever you get, you get. All right?
Yeah. So my.
You need us, Scott. It's fine. Carry on.
I've got one. This is it. Sometimes we have to look beyond what we want to do and do what's best.
Oh, I think that it could be thrown at you in that one quite well. That's a good one.
Did you listen to my conversation before we hit recording and go
Probably.
and find that?
I'm going to pretend like I'm at a festival and I'm one of the MCs and I'm going to go rewind. And what I'm going to ask you is just to say it one more time, just in case people forgot what you just said. Go for it. Kai, what was it? What was your quote?
Sometimes we have to look beyond what we want to do and do what's best.
Yeah, I've got no saying now because that just kind of like, yeah.
Scott, where you going?
It's only you that can deal with your own demons.
That's true. People can help you, but they won't help you as much as you can.
Yeah, no, I've kind of come to the conclusion on my journey. Yes, there's been lots of people there that have passerbys, if that's the right word,
Yeah.
that have given you some wisdom, different perspective, but truly the only person that can do.
I love you, but I see you once a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's kind of, it's only truly you that can do anything.
Yeah.
No one's going to do
No.
stuff for you.
And you can look at everyone else's life and everyone else's thing, but do you know what they've got their own shit as well. You might not see it, you might not understand. You'd be like, oh, well, they seem to be doing fine. You're like, okay,
All I can do is try and give you some tools to fight the demons with.
there we go.
So go on then.
So my one is quite personal on this one, so it's just a very quick sentence. I just wrote it down at the beginning of the show, and that the truth can hurt, but it still needs to be said. So even if the thing that you feel like what you don't want to say, and it's easier to lie, it's easier to just sort of skirt around or put off or not say. In the end, you have to say it anyway. So I'd much rather just you tell me how you feel, and then we'll deal with it. Then I ask you, how long have you felt like this? And if you say it's longer than 3 months, I'm annoyed. So you have to come to me before that to stop this happening. So what I'm saying is the truth hurts, but it still needs to be said.
I agree with that. Sometimes I think if people are
Tonally,
honest.
well. Don't just say the truth in a horrible way. Tone is...
But it all depends on
No.
what the truth is, isn't it?
That's true, but you can still do it calmly. Try and take emotion out of truth as well. Try and talk about it as calmly as you can. As soon as you put emotion in there, you're already lost. As soon as you put any swear words in there, you're already lost.
I know where you're going with that as well.
It's true.
It
You
is
know,
true.
but you know this. You might feel like it's getting you out of a situation and it's getting a release, but sometimes you have to keep your farts in. Sometimes it's not appropriate.
I think we're rounding up before we get on the farts.
Yay! Thank you so much. This is episode 20.
6.
I think it's just episode 26 all the time. But yes, I think it is episode 26. If you have not subscribed to this video and this channel, please do. Not only do we do this, but there's other things as well on this channel, on the Box channel as well, isn't
That's
there?
correct.
If you're looking that you want to hire a studio and stuff like that, all you have to do is message just below. Don't message that you don't like the new camera angle. Actually do, because we like winding you up. But one of the things is just... if you want to be part of this, you can be. If you want to sponsor this, they can, can't they?
They can sponsor it. We're also doing PTing, personal training, with some mental health bits and pieces. All put the combinations together. And it's basically, we're looking for sponsors so I can PT and do all these bits and pieces for free for people that need it, that can't afford it.
Love it.
And so... don't be shy. Come forward. Dig deep in them pockets. It's all going to a good cause.
Just because we have international listeners as well, what we're going to do is we're going to sign off by saying goodbye in a different language each. Kai, how are you saying goodbye in a different language?
You have to come back to me. I don't know how to say goodbye in another language.
What would you say?
Is it no? I want to say Wiedersehen, but
Wiedersehen is German.
yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
I got it. No,
You
but
got
that-
it.
Isn't that hello?
No.
Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wiedersehen. Yeah.
Wiedersehen, yeah.
Yeah, Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Au revoir. Kai?
That's just a cop out.
That's good. We'll have some new ones next week. We have to have different ones each week.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. Good one there. We'll see you back next week for episode 28 with new sounds as well. Scott, handshake? Always a pleasure. That was a weak handshake for me.
It was smooth.